So looking at just starting differentiation, so we've got this y equals ax to the power of n. Now what we're going to do is we're going to differentiate this with respect to x. And when we write that as dy divided by dx. And we simply take the power, which here is n, and we multiply it by the number in front. So it becomes a times n, and then we have x, and then we reduce the power of n by 1. Now, if we've got a function, all we simply do is do the function with a dash, and then we do exactly the same thing. A times n x to the n minus 1. That's how we differentiate. So we'll have a look at some examples here. So if we've got y equals 3x plus 4, then dy by dx, we multiply the 4 with the 3 to give us 12x, and then we reduce that power by 1. And that's it. So I've got a slightly more complicated one to finish with. I'm going to show you how to do. And we've got 4 different parts to this. So before we start, I'm just going to fill in some things that you wouldn't normally see. So the power of x here is 1. We don't have to write it, but that power of x is 1. If we've got 5 on its own, in effect, we've got x to the power of 0. X to the power of 0 is nothing, is 1 rather. So it gives us that 5 on its own. So when we come to differentiate this, we just differentiate each part. So I do this like before. I times that 3 and 2 together to get 6x, and I reduce the 3 to 2. Here I times the 2 and the 5 together to give me 10x. Now that's to the power of 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, obviously, but I don't need to write it. Plus x to the power of 1. So I times that green number 1 by the number in front, which also isn't written, but it's actually 1. So it's 1 times 1, which is 1. And then x to the power of 0. And I'm going to write that in, but actually x to the power of 0 is 1. So I can just get rid of that. And then this 5 is going to disappear because it's going to end up being 5 times 0, which is nothing. So even if I reduce that power of x by 1, I've still got this nothing outside. So this is just a bit of an unusual one, but if I've got constant numbers here, they'll just disappear. So that's our final answer. Now I'm just going to zoom out of there and give you these 5 to do. You can pause the video and then I will do the answers. Okay, the answers to each one then. Let's go through it bit by bit. dy by dx is 8x to the power of 1. F dash x, this one equals 12x, and then the 3 disappears. Dy by dx, now I'm going to times the 6 by 6 to give me 1, and then it becomes x to the power of 5, and then that plus x becomes plus 1. This one here, f dash x, quite a long one to do. That's 4 times a half, which is going to give me 2x, reduce that power, take away 3x and reduce that power, and that 1 disappears. And then the last one, which may have caused you a little bit of trouble, unless you think about doing this as y equals x squared divided by x minus x cubed divided by x, which is x minus... So before I differentiate, think about everything being divided by x, and then dy by dx is simply 1 minus 2x. So we have all the answers there.